Welcome back to Sports Nation, presented by Toyota.
I'm really happy that we spent all this money and you just folded up this jacket.
What do you want me to do with it?
I'm sorry, it's not Tom Ford.
It's not Tom Ford.
We didn't spend $5,000 on it. Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Sports Nation. Michelle Beto, Marcellus Wiley. Max Kellerman's here for 1 3/4 left of a segment.
Yeah.
We
Are
need
you
to
ready?
hold them. We need to hold them while we can.
Oh, my God. What's happening right now? All right, we got a
We
little
do
football.
4 hours of radio every day together, too.
Yeah, that's the one you really should be apologizing to. Von Miller, ladies and gentlemen, it has happened. It's a guarantee. Super Bowl 50 MVP agreed to a 6-year, $114.5 million contract with the Broncos. $70 million of that guaranteed. The richest contract in team history. Showed his excitement by tweeting a photo of himself in a Broncos uniform with the caption, "For life."
Yeah, got money for life.
Now that the deal is finally done, and Miller, unlike Max, is staying with his team. Do you think that it was the right price, Marcellus?
What we're asking, is he worth the money? Absolutely. I won't even go back to the days where I heard about Von Miller, first days in practice in Denver. Guys calling me, texting me, saying his first step, lethal. Reminded them of some of the great pass rushers yesterday. And you look at this guy now, what he did. He affected the Super Bowl to a place where if Cam Newton didn't feel that pressure,
right,
well, Carolina won that game. That game was in the fold going into the fourth quarter, but Von Miller's presence alone allowed the Denver Broncos defense to go out there and affect Cam Newton. That's a Super Bowl championship. $70 million also, it distances him from a Fletcher Cox, who Von Miller is a better football player than a Fletcher Cox, who's a good football player. And so when you start to look at it like this, we're talking about the guaranteed money. And that's what it was all about, because right now in the NFL, there's a new initiative that is putting the onus on these players, these top players, these franchise players, to get guaranteed contracts. In particular, fully guaranteed contracts. Now, the first one to kind of disappoint him was Andrew Luck. $87 million.
Isn't that crazy that that's disappointing?
Yeah, because he got 62% of that guaranteed. $87 million out of $140 million total dollars. And Von Miller was trying to close that gap, go higher than that 62%. Fell just short at 61%. So right now, just to let everyone know why these negotiations are getting stickier with the franchise players, is because the agent is trying to get this NFL to a new place where all of a sudden contracts are fully guaranteed.
Which is tough in a full contact sport.
It is.
In a combat sport, practically, in the NFL. The thing is, not just Von Miller obviously deserves the money. I mean, he should set the market. He's the next guy up, and he's in his physical prime, and he's the best in the business, and he's at his best when he needs to be at his best in the Super Bowl. What more can you say? That's important when you're talking about guaranteed money, especially in a sport like football. Even in basketball, right? Like, should you give a guy like a couple of years ago, the question was Andrew Bynum, and now it's maybe Hassan Whiteside. Are they internally motivated enough once they get that money to still try to be great? Is it important for them to be great? Von Miller is the kind of guy so far, based on his track record, where you go, yes, you give that guy guaranteed money. He wants to be great, and it won't affect his play negatively.
Yeah, that's what they always say. They remind us in the locker room all the time that talent will get you there, but your character will keep you there. And his character is deep enough that he respects and has passion for the game, that the money won't affect him to the negative.
Did you hear that?
You hear that?
Let's stick with football.
By the way, I asked Sports Nation for $70 million guaranteed, and they didn't give it to me.
We tried, Max. This week, Aaron Rodgers opened up about concussions in the NFL. He was on Bill Simmons' new HBO show, Any Given Wednesday. He addressed the problem of players not self-reporting the injuries, stating, quote, "The helmets and the pads are as safe as I think you can possibly get them at this point, but players feeling comfortable self-monitoring is still an issue. And if you have one, telling somebody about it." I feel like, when you're a kid, you don't want to go tell somebody you're hurt.
No.
Now you're getting paid to play a game. You're certainly not going to want to tell people you're hurt, right? Are we ever going to get to a point where it's easy to do?
Well, no, it will never be easy, because there are a lot of pulls on you if you're talking about the psychology of self-reporting. First of all, do you even have your faculties to self-report? I've been knocked out twice, and let me tell you, don't ask me anything at that time, because I have no answer that's going to be logical.
Barely ask you anything now. What are you talking about?
That's what I should have asked for a loan.
No logical response is coming from you in that moment. But also, sometimes you do have your faculties, but then you want to be the tough guy. And you're like, you know what? I don't want to let my teammates down. But let me give you the ultimate reason why self-reporting will always have an issue. No guaranteed contracts in NFL.
Right back to it.
The best ability is availability, and if I don't play, I don't get paid. So guess what? I am not going to allow my backup opportunities to go out there and now make a name for himself. And then all of a sudden, I'm sitting on the sidelines affecting my potential revenue because I'm on the sidelines. So guys won't self-report in moments like this because they want to preserve their
How do we get
time.
to guaranteed contracts across the board? Guaranteed money across the board.
In the NFL?
Yeah.
Well, look, this is what's going to happen. There's going to be another quarterback that comes up. Let's just say Cam Newton, for example, if he continues at this level of play. And then that quarterback is going to say, look, we know where the threshold is now, 62%. I need to increase it because it is increasing. The gap is closing. And if he gets it more up the field, then the next guy can do it. So maybe in our lifetime, we'll see fully guaranteed contracts as the NFL owners will want to bring the total money dollars down a little bit.
The problem with self-reporting concussions is that football is basically exploitative, as is boxing, by the way. These are exploited. Like, you don't need to talk about how much good it does in the community and how it takes kids and molds them in it. All those things may be true, but I don't think that that's really what's at the core of why we watch. We watch because we're interested in seeing who's the biggest and the baddest and the best, and it's basically exploitative of the athletes. And the culture around that, it's necessary. You need a culture of toughness in a sport like football or boxing. You need that culture, or these guys will not be as good as they can be. The fans will not get the product they want. So in boxing, for example, a guy takes a mandatory 8 count because he gets knocked down. Let's say he is concussed. If he self-reports the concussion, the ref says, "Are you okay?" and he says no, then guys like me will kill him on TV and in the press say he doesn't have the heart to be a great fighter. In other words, he's not irrational enough to be a great fighter. His competitive instinct doesn't take over his rational brain and make him crazy enough to be a great fighter. And it's the same thing in football. These are competitive athletes, competitive people. Sure, but in a culture that sort of necessitates that kind of competitive, irrationally competitive drive.
Yeah, but you're not,
it's always going to be that way.
Yeah, and you're not wearing the macho on your sleeve. You're wearing it in your bank account because you got to preserve your future earning power. If not, you're gone.
Coming up, only one segment left with Max Kellerman.
It's going to be my last take.
But we will discuss Dwayne Wade wearing Bulls gear every day to get used to his new team. Interesting, Max. How does that work?
Sports Nation. You going to wear First Take hats around here?
Yeah, what do you have underneath those pants right now?
Yeah, what's going on? Huh?
First Take undies?
You gotta do it like in the hood on the alley.
What is
you gotta
this?
cross his face out.
I can still see it.
Right, West Side some gang.
Okay, now you're taking it too far.
Can't do that.
Time for Post Nation presented by Toyota. What are you talking about? Winners, losers. First up, Dwayne Wade says he's been wearing Bulls gear every day so he can get used to the change. Is that normal, Marcellus?
No.
Okay.
But you know what? It's a part of the story which he's selling. The narrative is I'm going back home. I'm Dwayne Wade, who should have always been a Chicago Bull. Now I am a Chicago Bull. Wow. So I get it. Somebody in his marketing team say, hey, Dwayne, this will be a story if you do it. And it's a story because he did it.
I have been wearing First Take underwear all week, as a matter of fact.
Oh, really?
So many jokes.
Oh, I don't want to go here because there's so many good jokes right now.
Winner, this selfie. Jim Harbaugh took a magical selfie with Jerry Springer at Disneyland. All right, Max, who would you rather be in the selfie, Harbaugh or Springer?
In this selfie, who would I rather be?
That's a great question.
Well, the lighting's better on Harbaugh's face.
You can't lose because Jerry Springer is sitting on bricks of money. And, good Lord. But Harbaugh affects so many of these kids in the way that the next generation is thinking he's the greatest coach, even though he hasn't won a championship at that level.
His PR game is on another level.
Yeah, kids love him. So I take Jerry Springer.
Fair enough.
I take that money.
He's had a lot more chapters to his life. That is true. Loser germs. Check out a golfer lose his gum while putting. Oh, God. Finds it on the ground.
Oh, there. 5-second rule.
And
you got to handle that. Yeah. You got to handle that.
That's
in all fairness,
putting green.
if Marcellus started to take the gum out of his water bottle and chew that, which would be...
Y'all ain't right.
That's months old. How often do you change the gum in your water bottle?
When it gets to a place where the water doesn't taste like water, and it's not there yet. So I'm going to say maybe 100 old pieces.
That cannot be healthy. No, it's got to be toxic.
It's a bad habit. Blame my mama.
His body is immune to disease somehow.
I will blame only you.
What happened to disease? What is that?
Close up.
You never get sick.
What does old sugar do to you? I mean,
really? Winner effort. Check out a dude in Brazil trying to extinguish the Olympic flame with a fire extinguisher. extinguisher. Oh, God, are these Olympics going to be good?
That Olympic spirit cannot be extinguished.
Should he be ashamed of his lack of spirit?
I do.
It's also like there are all these concerns and everything. You need a knucklehead running around with a fire extinguisher.
This plan went wrong when he came out the house with them flip-flops on. Like, you can't run with the torch with flip-flops on.
By the way, that is some fire.
Yeah,
Some
this is
flame.
no good and no way.
Yeah, it's like a trick birthday candle. You can't blow that
And
thing
they
out.
tackled him, too.
Winner, Slime. Kobe Bryant accepted his, he is everywhere, his blimp at the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards and was blasted with golden slime in the process.
Oh, man.
The golden is different. I like it, Marcellus.
I do, too.
Look like a statue.
Oh, that's fresh. Yeah.
That's-
I mean, that's part of it. Max, would you ever accept the award?
Now I feel like I'm about to get slimed.
We don't have the same
We
budget
don't
as
have that
Nickelodeon.
money.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
We're
Thank
good.
We got that money.
You're
Yeah,
safe.
That's good.
I can spit on you from here. Marcellus, let's spit on him and pretend it's slime.
I got some water with some gum in it.
Loser.
Got my water bottle.
Gum in it. Sports Station. Today we say goodbye to our very own Max Kellerman, a man who cannot connect on high fives. A man who dresses
I blame you too, Mama.
what are you talking about? That was not my fault. As a villain for Star Wars specials. A man who can't wear birthday hats. I mean, what can he do, to be quite honest with you?
Not much.
A man named after our director's dog. I'm just going to throw this jacket on while we're standing here, by the way.
Right. Oh, man.
Wow, look at you.
Loving them poop
By the way,
emojis.
did you ever
Who
think,
doesn't?
did
That
you
was
ever think you
rigged.
put in 12 years as an Ivy League school and this would be your everything that you had to look at?
It was only 7 years, Michelle. Don't exaggerate.
It doesn't matter.
Without
Look
a
at your
math.
math. Your math skills.
Oh, we learned the math today that he has some issues with the math. It's going to be okay,
I
Max.
just love that
I
we have
thought that
this.
looked pretty good.
Boy,
It didn't, but I like that you have confidence no matter what you're wearing, and I
Look
think
at
that
that.
shows.
you
Very
and
nice
Stephen A, boy.
side.
Oh, this is going to be so good. I can't wait to wake up early to see this.
Marcellus and I, as you know, didn't care enough to get you an actual gift.
No.
However,
Yeah, you left us. Forget you.
that's a great point. We pretended, under the budget of the show, to give you something amazing. Are you ready?
Yes.
Ta-da!
Have this framed. I will
Frame
have
it?
this framed because you were all too cheap to do that already.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. Also, bring out the cake. We know how much you love to eat calories. Here it comes. Oh, thank you, Alyssa. We're going to milk the ugly face for as much as we can. Max, any final words?
I don't really do final words. I do first takes, Michelle.
In your face, in the face.
But I will say this. You, Michelle, is like the sister I never had, and Marcellus, you're like the son I never asked for. I would thank the producers and everyone who works on the show, but frankly, I don't know their names. The thing I will miss most of all, by far, is the weather here in Southern California. It is fantastic.
That's all he has.
That's
All right.
You're
We
the
miss you
worst.
too.